Hello, drivers. Welcome to the group. My name is Adequate Prince, as you can see, and I'm doing a video because in these days of AI, in these days of Google, anybody can type anything, and I want this to also be relatable and authentic as possible. What's my positionality in this? I've been in a toxic relationship, was married to a toxic person, got out of it, and I'm standing by God. So I feel that you could actually share this space with people that are in the same situation. Not necessarily that they have to leave, but at least they can find themselves and start thriving and eventually may develop the agency to do what they have to do. So let us start with today's module, which is understanding toxic patterns. Like the first, I want to make this into a course, but we'll follow it gradually. So you're going to have just short videos and the course topic, and then you will discuss and now ask questions to start work. So toxic patterns in relationships don't always start in an obvious way. Sometimes they begin with small actions that look like normal at first, but eventually they become harmful. So, for example, when you begin to feel pain, fear, confusion, emotional stress, just knowing that you are already in a toxic relationship. But like I always try to tell people, when you are walking around eggshells around the person, for example, the person is no longer your close friend. Now, feelings change, but I'm talking about when you're beginning to tiptoe around the person. You can't express your mind so that they won't get hurt. You are beginning to think of, I need to talk to somebody else about this rather than my wife or my husband, or my boyfriend or my girlfriend. Just know that you are into toxicity and you need to find a way around it. If the person is aware, communication can work. But if they're not aware, you need to protect your space, you need to protect your peace, and you withdrawing also would not help. So, this you don't change you, but you need to ensure that you're heard, you're valued, and you're respected. How you do this is you put your feet down on what you can take and what you cannot take. If they have a higher power in the relationship, they will push back, they will threaten you. But trust me, they will not forget that you said you're not going to do this. And I like giving examples. For example, I have a friend who is very close to me, and one time I did not pick his call for it for a while, and I noticed that he was trying to reach out to me. So eventually, when I felt better, I picked this call and it was telling me, "Oh, I couldn't concentrate, I couldn't do this." I said, "Oh, I apologize for that. I shouldn't have ever done that to you." But I told him, I said, please don't allow anybody have this level of control over you. And then in this matter that happened that made me stop picking your call, tell me what I did wrong. He was looking at me. I said, don't be afraid. I'm not going to buy it. I mean, tell me what I did wrong so that next time I'm not going to do it again. And if you see, this guy spent over 15 minutes telling me what I did wrong. And he was right. And I fixed that immediately. And our friendship is stronger and better. How did I know that it's okay to also sit back and reflect and allow somebody else um tell you what you did wrong? Is because over time I've realized that in a toxic relationship, there's a person who is toxic and there's the enabler. So if you're not the one who is toxic, then you are enabling the toxic person. So, like I said, once in a while, put your feet down. And when you do, even if they push back, they would know that she once said this thing, he once said this thing. Now, another important sign is emotional manipulation. They would say if you don't, they will change your words, they will blame you. They would say something and say they didn't mean it again, or they will say you are the one who's overthinking it. You are not overthinking it. If you're not mentally disabled, if you're not if you're speaking the same language, you're not overthinking. Whatever rubs you in the wrong way, you should be able to tailor it in a way that makes your partner understand that this thing I'm doing is not okay. So, like I said, this group is not to wake up one day and say you should leave your spouse or your partner. No, it is for you to realize that, okay, this is what I'm going through. This is what I need to change about me first. And this is what I think I need to discuss with my partner to change. Is that okay? Now, first of all, now that I think that I've provided a background for you to understand this toxic pattern, that's the first step towards healing and growth. You need to recognize these signs, set boundaries, seek support, and be aware that sometimes there may be a pushback. So here's an assignment for you. If you've watched to this point, you have an assignment. Get me 2 sheets of papers and write. You can send it to me privately and you can send it on the group, but if you send it to me privately, I will just anonymously say, okay, this is what I think we need to work on. Now, look at your relationship again. List the things that your partner is doing that you know is hurting you, and they didn't used to do that before. Because if you saw that before and went ahead now, that's your fault. Or maybe you were hoping they would change. That's like you misjudge character, and don't bother yourself. Don't blame yourself. We all did. Is that okay? But like I said, write down the list of things you think that your partner is doing that's hurting you, and write down the steps you've taken to help yourself and send them to me, and then I will now balance it out. And if you want us to discuss it on the group too, that's fine. My name is Adepeju Prince, and you can reach out to me. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.